My man, Russ, it's been another great month and time to share our findings, our good, bad, and ugly from our passive income report, September 2023.
Yeah, well, we have three big ideas to share here, right? We talked a lot last month, some lessons that we had, we were talking about these new beginnings, things that we were just now starting. So I definitely think it would only be fitting for us to go back and talk about some of those lessons that were learned there. I think it's also important for us to talk about some of the new things that we're also working. If you've been following us on social, you've seen us posting a new role we're hiring for, and that's actually in an affiliate manager role. So I'd love to talk a little bit, Stallion, about what we're doing there and why, because I think affiliates are the forgotten passive income stream that exists. Some people only think, oh, I go and buy an asset, I produce passive income. That's the only way to passive income. But at the same time, there's other ways. There's hundreds, if not thousands of ways to create quote unquote passive income. So welcome, Jeff, to the show. 2 F's, not one, but I appreciate you watching. Let's also talk about the one of the latest updates we have, which is how to keep passive investing passive and what we're doing to do that. Sound like a good show?
100%. I'm all in.
Let's jump in right now. All right. Let's rock and roll. All right, Stallion, let's talk about some lessons we learned from September and our journey to building more passive income. You and I are both doing Turo. I'm not certain that this is passive, at least the way I'm doing it's not passive. You've taken a completely different route where you've handed it over to a manager. You're about a full month in, I think, right? I think you started in a half month, you had a full month. Tell us how it worked out for you.
Well, so I'm learning lessons. I think this is a very fitting title for this month. And one of those is that in anything that if you're going to be passive, someone else has to be active. That's what my buddy Sharon Srivatsa says. And 100% true. And what you're going to do is passive income is also front-loaded income. And so in this case, I'm having to front money for this manager company to take on all of the front end logistics of running this business. And so there was an upfront fee, there's some insurance costs, there's things like that I had to front load that it took this whole entire month to absorb. So you'll see on a report that I actually lost about $98 this month, even though the car, Cousin Eddie Jr., that's what we're calling him, the minivan, was rented for 15 days out of the month of September. Now, you may be thinking, well, 15 days, you should have shown a profit. We had a almost $300 deficit from the month before in all the startup costs. And so as I'm looking at this, I'm starting to see how is this going to play out every single month. And it kind of looks like to me that in order for this thing to be profitable, and what I'm considering profitable, is that Cousin Eddie Jr. pays for the new minivan that we just bought. And in order for that to happen, it looks like we're going to have to be between 20 to 25 days per month at the amount we can charge for this minivan in order to pay for the old car, or excuse me, the new car that we just bought.
So what you're saying is that the new car payment is your target goal, and if you can hit that, then you've broken even. If you exceed that, then you're making money.
Exactly. And at 25 days, I'd be making money. Now, again, that's not considering the fact that it's losing value every month, that it's adding 2,000 miles to it, that I normally wouldn't have been doing to it. So that part of the equation is not being considered. But at 25 days, I'm definitely making more than the new payment on the new van.
So 25 days, that's a pretty big number to have to hit, given that most months only have 30 days in them, right?
That's right. Yeah, it's a high number. And so to me, if we can get between 20 and 25, I feel like we're doing more than what I would have anticipated. And so we'll just have to see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, the van still has lots of value to it. And so this has been a really good trial. It's been something that I wanted to try out. But to your point, it is 100% passive. I
So
do none of the management,
you
none
said
of
it
the
has lots
maintenance,
of
anything.
value to it. Explain that to me. I think I understand what you just said there, but before I bust your nuggets, I want to make sure I know exactly what you said. What do you mean
The
it has lots of value?
the van still has it's worth more. Like I could still sell it for value. I could still go to the open market as a used car and sell it and, probably make 10 to $15,000 on it. And
Okay.
so in that
So your
case, I still
your
have
10 to
that comfort.
15,000 is what's in pocket right now if you just go and cash it out.
That's right.
Otherwise, it's bringing 700 something dollars into you, and you don't have a monthly, quote unquote, monthly payment on it,
That's right.
except your payment is what is costing you to the guy to manage it. So you showed $724. What do you expect your average month expense to be on this?
The average month expense, it should be about $420, give or
So
take.
I just wanted to do the math for those riding down the road. You're hoping to make about $750, and it's going to cost you $420, you said?
No, 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 no. It will. You're talking about gross profit or gross revenue?
I want to know what do you expect to pay the guy every single month?
About 400 to 20 $425.
Okay. And you're hoping that gross is going to bring in about $750 a month.
No, I think above that, I'm hoping it'll get somewhere around 1,300
So you're hoping it's going to net $750.
at least. Yeah, more like 900. I want to net about 900.
And last month you brought in gross revenue of 626.
Um, no, I did not.
That's what it says.
Hold on, hold on. That that's
For
not
everybody
good.
watching live, this is what you call bad audio.
Hey, I didn't look at this beforehand.
I
Oh
know.
man,
I can tell.
you think?
All right, so
Oh
we're
boy.
going to cut all of this out. This is a disaster. So just so I'm clear, I want to give them give feedback behind the scenes here, and what you're saying is that, and let me share the screen for those who are watching live and seeing this. There's privileges to watching. You can see our foul ups, but what this is what it says, Stallion. It says that you brought in $626 last month, and it cost you $724 to operate the thing.
Hold on, let me see here.
Put that on a different screen so you can keep looking at it, because I'm never going to keep showing you my screen. It says you brought in $626. Where did he get that number from?
I'm just looking real quick. Hold on.
And for those watching as we're doing this live, we'll cut this out for the podcast. Obviously, we have someone who puts all this report together for us, and typically they get those numbers from us. But Joey's having a question mark here. Did they really get that number from him? Because I'm thinking 1,300 is optimistic if last month you only got 626, and it's getting colder by the minute here. Typically, minivans rent out higher amounts of times in the summertime when you're in Alabama. Just my guess.
107. Da, 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 da. Yes. Okay. So $265 was my maintenance or my upfront from the last month, the
But yeah,
previous
I'm
month.
not worried about the expenses. Stay with the income. Is 626 correct?
Yes, actually, yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Back to the podcast here.
What was the question you asked me that I got derailed on?
Okay, Stallion, I want to clarify some points here on your Turo. Your goal is to bring in net how much income?
I would love to make net about $900.
Net $900. So you think it's going to cost you typically $420 a month. And so in order for you to make a 900, it means you're going to have to bring in $1,320.
That's right.
And last month, how much did you bring in?
626.
Okay, so tell me where that $700 gap's going to be. So you're saying last month you rented it for 15 days, right?
That's right.
And so in order for you to net another 700 means you need to rent it for another 10 full days.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. Are you being a little too optimistic?
Probably so. Now, the more that you're breaking this down, yes. Now, it may just be that early on you have to charge a little bit less to get people into the van, into the car, to make sure you're getting the proper reviews and everything else, and that we'll be able to bump that number up. But it is a little optimistic. I'm going to give you that.
I'm going to say it's a lot optimistic, but it's okay. I just want to help do the math here. So if we're saying that your goal is costing you $420 a month expense, right? And everything you make over and above that, in essence, is return on that $10,000 to $15,000 you would have if you put it in your pocket. So
Yes.
for last month, you would have put $200 for the month in your pocket. So for people doing math at home, what would be your return on investment if you earned $200 a month? If your van was worth 10 grand.
If it's worth 10 grand, then it'd be 24%.
24%. Okay, so that wouldn't be a bad return, would it?
No.
Okay, so that's a good. It's okay for me to bust you up here because you can be like, well, I'm earning 24% on my money. If that actually happens every single month, and you keep doing that, then that's good.
Well, thank you.
Okay,
I appreciate
perfect.
that.
I want to make sure that I give you some props from time to time. I like making fun of you. And speaking of making fun of people,
Yeah, let's talk about your churro situation.
Yeah, because last month I, on paper, showed a profit. I brought in $884. Really quickly, is 884 more or less than 626?
Are you counting your time, energy, and mental drain?
I'm
Because it was
asking
way
you,
more
is
costly.
$884 more or less income than 626?
It is more.
Okay. All right, pause. Now, my expense is a little higher because I actually have a note payment on it. I don't have cash in this one. I mean, we borrowed the money from against the life insurance policy or whatever, but I'm counting a mortgage payment, or not a car payment, auto payment on the deal of $635. I'm counting the $80 a month in, insurance and all the other things, right? I'm counting the $15 or $20 a month for the car wash, all the things that we're doing on our own. So the difference is
can you clarify that? Would you say we're doing on our own?
You're 100% passive.
Okay.
And I am 50% active. Like my daughter and I are 50% back and forth handling the check-in, the checkout, the wash, the repo.
Hold on. Clarify that last word. I'm not sure. I didn't see that as a line item on my statement last month.
So the repo. Yeah, I got to go back to my roots, Stallion. And, when I was back in the old days, when I was working Enterprise Rent-A-Car right out of college, I learned how to repossess cars. And I had to activate that skill several weeks back.
I think we may need to change the nickname on this from the idea guy to Russ the Bounty Hunter. Morgan, so, I just feel like that may be fitting here.
All right, so you want the story? I think this is podcast worthy here. So I won't go through all the details. The lady got in a wreck. She was going to bring the car back. She never brought the car back. She just went to her house. She hung out. I didn't know if she was ever going to bring the car back, and we had another guy renting the car the next day. So we had to literally go pick it up so we could give it to a guy who was going to rent it for 11 days. It definitely active.
Yes.
My daughter and I drive over to this house. It's 9:00 at night. It's an apartment complex, by the way. I show up. it's a nicer apartment complex. Like it's probably like they got a big old pond. I'm thinking this place is nice, right? Like this is where I would go if I was single. And I'm looking around and I'm like, I'm feeling pretty confident that I'm not going to get mugged over here. And so I'm just like, okay, I was just going to jump in the car and bolt. But then I open the door. The first thing I see on on the little armrest is a cell phone. I open the back seat, the back door, and then the back seat is clothes, tools. In the back of the truck is even more tools. And I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be a disaster. I'm not going to just drive away with all of this stuff in here because I don't want to be responsible for it. I don't want to have to like get rid of it. I don't want any of that. And so I try to call the person. They won't answer the phone. Text them. They won't answer. I start honking the horn, Stallion. Like, come out here. Just bring me my keys and get all your junk. Nothing. No response. Nobody's coming outside. So I'm like, all right. I just start chunking everything that's in the car into the grass that's right behind the truck. Just emptying the truck onto the ground. I'm just throwing everything. I'm throwing shoes. I'm throwing Sonic tater tots that's in the back seat.
Oh, not the tater tots.
Yeah, it's everything. And then the last thing I do is I go to get in the truck. I grab hold of the handle to close the door. And what's in the handle? A gun clip. I'm like, oh. Great. Nothing like getting my fingerprints on that. I'm hoping that the wreck that my camera just had, as well as the car just had, I'm hoping that the wreck was the hit and run didn't also include any action with the gun, because I got my hands all over that thing. I throw that back there in the grass too, and I take off. And yes, we've got like $1,800 worth of damage. And here's the lesson, right? So we're talking about lessons. One, in my opinion, Turo's for the birds. Don't do Turo. That's one lesson. Two is I changed my payment from Turo to receive 85% of the money and only give them 15%. I was at a 75%, give them 25%. Well, here's the so what to that. When I was giving them 25% of the money, Stallion, my deductible was how much?
I have no idea.
$250 a month, or $250 an incident.
Okay.
When I change it to 85 and I only give them 15% of the money, my deductible went up to $1,650.
$1,400.
$1,400. Now you may be like, oh, that might be a good decision if you could out earn that $1,400 expense in the event of an accident. And a month and a half after I changed it, I shockingly had only earned an additional $150.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah. So Turo sends me the gap between the $1,800 accident, repair cost and the $1,650 deductible. I got that going for me. And then I'm stuck with this stupid car. And by the way, I cleaned it out. I rent it to the guy, and I looked down on my GPS app a couple of days after renting it to the new guy and find out he's in Oklahoma. I'm like, this is terrible.
Oh.
I don't want any piece of this Turo thing. So one lesson for me, talking about new beginnings for you, it's you started Turo, you're all excited about it, 24%. For me, I am in the red. I don't even know how much to calculate. I am ending my Turo. It's done. There is no more rentals. I cleaned the thing up again today. And yes, it was smoked out again. Like if you like to smoke weed, you rent my truck. That's basically what I've determined. You like weed, you like my truck. I should put like truck weed. Like
the weed wagon.
That would be like the keyword for renting trucks. You like to rent truck and smoke weed? This is the truck for you. That's what it seems like, because this is like the third time I'm cleaning this thing out. Just like, man,
that's terrible.
Yeah, it is terrible.
So we're both on two different sides of this coin with Turo. Well, let's talk about e-commerce for a second. This is a lesson from last month. I'll quickly give you an update. 100 unicorns, as we've talked about. Russ, no, you are completely locked out of being an early investor. That ship has sailed. Okay. But this is how things change when you have an operating partner. Okay. When I'm not an operator, I can't operate anything. You have an operating partner. We've obtained our trademark on the logo. We've gotten 3 samples on our first few products to launch. Okay. We're talking about blankets. We're talking about nap mats. Russ, you may need to buy one of these because I know how you get about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You need a nap. Okay. You might as well nap on one of my 100 unicorns nap mats. We've also we're about to get our Seller Central Amazon account set up this week. And once we do that, and we got our bank account set up, like all those things had to be done to start these things in motion. And it's about to be on. And we're going to start testing the market here within the next 45 to 60 days.
Oh man, there's a lot of words coming out of there. I want to just talk to me about income. Talk to me about expenses.
There's no income. There's no income. I have had some people randomly go on the website and buy products, and that's been great. I love that. I appreciate that.
I think you are getting sympathy purchases here. Like I have been crushing 100 unicorns for 2 years now, and you're getting sympathy purchases. Now, what I would love to know for every one of you who bought an item off 100 unicorns, has it been delivered yet? Like, have you received it? Take a picture with you and your gift. You don't have to tell us that it takes 60 days to get to you, whether or not it existed or not. It's like a unicorn. We know it's fairy. It's fairy dust here.
It's like 59 days. You know that. Get out of here with the 60-day talk. But the point is we're about to be on Amazon, Russ. And when you get on Amazon, things change. So just buckle your seatbelt. I'm just telling you, you're going to be sad. You missed out on this one. But talk to me about your e-commerce journey. And by that, I'm gonna give a shout out to our friend Sophie Howard. If you haven't already checked out her course and our podcast with her, wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/freedom navigator. This is the course we're taking our daughters through right now. And man, what a great, some great lessons we've been learning so far.
Well, this is going to be the newest passive income report that's going to be posted before the end of 2023. That's my goal, is to create to purchase this business before the end of 2023 so I can report some income. And this one will be 100% passive, Stallion. I'm doing nothing for it. Okay. I'm looking at buying a content site. We've already identified one that's in the art and crafts side. I've got 2 girls that love to spend money. Love to draw and spend money. And what we're looking to do is buy one of these sites. The site is set up to where it brings in most of its revenue from affiliates on Amazon. So people who buy stuff on Amazon. So let's just pretend someone bought your item on Amazon and it was referred by my website. I would get paid. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And that's what we're looking at. We've got we're working with the broker right now to negotiate a deal. People are like, are you going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on this? And the answer is no. I'm looking to spend like $15,000 total. And the site I'm looking at negotiating on right now, it's bringing in about $600 a month. Most of it's coming from affiliate revenue, but we do have some banner ads. I can't wait to tell you, but I don't want to tell you too soon, because what happens if you go and like bid it up higher than I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you, as soon as it is live, we have it, and my girls are making money from it. That's my e-commerce update.
But hold on, I got to ask you a question. You said it's going to be 100% passive. I understand your girls can learn some things about how to run this, but what is your go-to for the resources it's going to take to understand the WordPress site, to understand the content that's being created? Like how are you going to manage that? Talk to me about practically how you've thought through how that's going to be passive. I'm waiting. I'll just be here.
Thought through what? Come on, bro. You know that doesn't exist. Here, my girls, each one of them have about $30,000 in their life insurance policies, cash value.
Yes.
And there's 3 of them looking at buying it. They got $100,000. They're going to spend 15,000 of it to do this. I'm just going to tell them, you're going to have to manage the rest of it with the rest of your cash. Like you're going to have to find a WordPress site. You're going to have to find an SEO expert. You're going to have to find whoever. I mean, ultimately, I'm going to tell her to engage Sophie Howard's team even deeper. Like they've learned a bunch into the course, but maybe we have to hire a coach for them. I don't know the answer to that, but
So they're just going to figure it out.
It's their money. Like I'm going to let them come to me if they have a question, but I'm not going to get in the way of this one. Like that's why I'm thinking repoing cars right now, because I'm in the way. I'm the one with the Turo app on my phone. I get a message saying I'm going to be an hour and a half late. And by an hour and a half late, I mean 8 hours, and you're going to have to come repo it from me. And I smoked a bunch of weed in the thing.
Oh, man.
All right. So let's move on.
So this is exciting, though. I mean, I really think if you have not already been considering buying blogs, content sites, online marketing type of vehicles like this, check out this course, wealth.wallstreet.com/freedom navigator. This is a really low barrier of entry with a lot of upside potential. And anyways, I'm really excited about it. I'm walking my daughters through it as well.
Well, here's a good thing too. Let me see it. The second big idea we have is the affiliate business. And there's a reason why we get involved into the affiliate business, because Sharon says the best business model is fame, right? Fame is the most efficient business model. And recently I was posting this in all these different areas saying, hey, if you're super motivated and you love controlling your own schedule, you want to follow a process that allows you to make more money, if you enjoy interacting with people and being highly compensated for all your results, and you love working remotely, no financial background needed, no licenses needed, we have an opportunity for you. And that is this affiliate manager position, right? So this example that you're given, Stallion, of the Sophie Howard, the www.wealth.wallstreet.com/freedom navigator is a place where we're learning how to buy e-commerce businesses, buy existing blogs, buy affiliate revenue sites. And in there, we're actually going to get an affiliate commission if you buy it. Like full disclosure, like we're 100% capitalist in this deal. Now, we're always going to try it. And if we don't like it, we'll tell you. I'll come back and immediately tell you, don't do it. Bad idea. Right now, I'm loving everything there is about this course because my girls are actually excited about it. I'm thinking there's an opportunity for them to have interest in access to a business model that nobody could get to that level at their age without something like this. But we've understood that, man, we have all of these different things happening around us, people who are teaching courses, building out models, and we are enjoying the ability to use them. We should also be able to share them with you and get paid on them, right? So if you're out there and you're like, hey, how do I build passive income streams? And you already have a big following on social media. And I don't mean like Joey's social media following, like 353 people. I'm like a big, like put a couple of zeros, put 3 zeros behind that. If you've got a big social media following and you're already, people are listening to what you're saying, you should consider maybe the passive income side of affiliate marketing as well, Stallion.
That's right. Yeah, and I'll tell you this: the reason for this affiliate manager role is this struck me at our event that we had this past week in Denver at the Passive Income Mastermind Retreat. Ben and Bob Frazier were both there present as speakers, and man, they blew our minds, right? Given an economic outlook that we're going to share in a follow-up podcast with Sharon. So please, keep your ears peeled for that. And then they also talked about oil and gas in a way that we've never heard about it. So super cool. But what they said at this event, they got to experience what you and I get to see every day in our community, right? They said, you guys have the name, you have the quality, you have the process and the trust. You just need more people to know about it. And I was like, he's exactly right. Right. And how do we do that? We have to have somebody who's a brand manager, somebody who is constantly connecting us to the audiences of people that would benefit from what we're doing. They would benefit from our community. They would benefit from our masterminds, from our coaching, right? From the infinite banking concept. and vice versa. They need to be out there looking for the Freedom Navigators. They need to be looking for the Tribe Vests. They need to be looking for the Visors. All these service providers that will allow our community to thrive. We need to be connected to them. We need to introduce them into our world, and we need to get compensated for the fact that we've now brought more value to this already amazing community. And
Well,
that gets me excited.
well, we've got people in our community right now bringing in 7 figures in affiliate revenue. 7 figures. Like, it's crazy. I see it all the time. We've interviewed Pat Flynn, the Smart Passive Income, on the show. We've interviewed
John Lee
JLD from Entrepreneurs on Fire. Both of them high 7 figures in passive income streams every single year, and have been doing it for years on years on years. So if your background, maybe you're more social, maybe you're more of an influencer, persuader, you're not the analytical, you don't like, going out and trying to do all the due diligence on investments, that's not your skill set. Maybe the passive income stream that you can create is looking for affiliate revenue. And for us, just this past month, bro, we brought in almost $16,000 affiliate income, and we didn't have a manager yet. So you and I have been building out that, because we believe that we can 10x that on a monthly basis just by doing what you just said, bringing attention to it, because the quality is there, the name is there, the process and the trust is there. We just need someone keeping focus on it. All right, so we said we were going to give you 3 big ideas. One, lessons that we've learned. Turo, bad idea. E-commerce, we're still figuring that out. Potentially good idea. Secondly, the affiliate model. I think there's an idea there for you to talk about how to build affiliate revenue. But the third thing, Stallion, is how do we keep passive investing passive? What is one of the ways that we're working on that right now?
Well, again, I don't want to continue to beat the drum about our Denver event, the Passive Income Mastermind, but we got to meet Latan Yahaf in person, the founder of Visor.co. If you haven't checked it out, go to visor.co/wealth without Wall Street. And again, this is an affiliate program that we know is adding value to our community. This is the software that was designed and created to help passive investors who have investments in, maybe their limited partnership in several different syndications. They've got some assets in certain banks. They've got all these things kind of scattered around. This is the first software that's been created that brings it all together, aggregates that, and it starts to give you clarity about where your passive investing is.
Let's talk about it right for you. You've bought a whole life policy from one of many people, whether it's our team or some other infinite banking group out there. You bought a whole life policy, and as good as I do is that the only way you can go see it is if you go to that one insurance company's website. And insurance companies have never been called up to date with tech, right? Like, they are opposed to tech. Like, you go there and half the time you don't understand what you've got. And now you've bought 2 insurance policies and there were 2 different companies. And now you're like, okay, now how do I figure this out? We've been dealing with this forever, right? Like, Joey and I have been buying insurance policies going back to 2009. And we've got over 40 whole life policies on like 18 or 20 different insureds right now. So keeping up with that is pretty much a disaster, right? It's a spreadsheet. It's an Excel spreadsheet. And what's the problem when you put something in an Excel spreadsheet, Stallion?
It's just super manual.
Well, immediately it's out of date.
Yeah.
As soon as you put it on there, from that second forward, it's out of date. All you did was report up to the second, and then it's gone. So for us and for you, as you're listening to this, you're like, hey, I have a couple whole life policies. I got a couple passive investments. I've got at least one bank. If you're me, you got 4 different banks you're looking into on a daily basis.
Yep.
And trying to aggregate all of that is super difficult. And here's the worst thing, Stallion, is that all of a sudden you start doing some private loans. Like, we have that owner finance loan on the short-term rental business that we had. Who's keeping up with that? Who knows exactly what the loan amount was and what the payment schedule is? Well, I mean, how are you going to report on that? How do you know if it's tracking and doing exactly what you want it to? How about the private loan that you did on the note fund, right? How about the deal that you did in TriVest? Like all these different things that you have going, we end up trying to track on a stupid spreadsheet, and we're not really that efficient. We don't really know, are we getting that much closer to our passive income exceeding our monthly expenses? And what Visor has been able to do, and that's Visor, that's VYZER, okay? VYZER.co/wealth without Wall Street, is that their tool not only allows you to organize all of those things, start tracking all of those investments, but it also allows you to be able to report on that to your forum group, to your mastermind group, to your friend group, whatever your group is that you can report on. Because remember, what you track grows, but what you track and report on grows exponentially.
100%. Yeah. So this is a way that you can keep that passive investing passive. And it was so great to see that they unveiled this at our event, that they are now tracking life insurance. And man, I know that was an exhale moment for me, is like, wow, we're going to be able to do this now going forward. So,
all right. So
all right.
let's wrap this up. So in the month of September of 2023, we brought in a little over $114,000 in income from everything. We had about 90,000 expenses. Now, 90,000, Stallion didn't go buy a new minivan because his minivan is older. No, that actually, a lot of that expense is we put together a live event in Nashville, Tennessee. A lot of the expense went to support that. So we netted a little over $36,000 in passive income this month. We're going to keep reporting on this every month. We're going to keep sharing lessons, other ideas that we're getting involved in, technologies we're getting involved in. I hope you enjoyed this session as we went back and looked at September of 2023's passive income report. Thank you for listening. As always, have an amazing day.